Greetings and welcome to another Meet Kevin podcast. Today we are without any kind of tech support, so I'm my own tech support along with Mikey for moral support. Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about Andrew Tate, Israel, OpenAI, and Donald Trump. We got a lot of exciting things to talk about today. Why don't we start though? Because I'm pretty excited about this with Tate. You said there was some crazy new stuff going on with Tate, and I guess there's like a new interview that you'll tell me what's going on.
Yeah, so let's start with the X.com news, which is that Andrew Tate has offered to pay $1 million per month on X.com to advertise X.com on X.com.
Wait, infinite loop. He wants to advertise X.com on. Okay, here, let's try to. I think I can figure this out. Let me go to camera number 5. Ready for camera number 5? We have no picture in picture, but oh well. Here it is.
Go.
Ooh. Okay,
you're good.
What do we got now?
I will advertise X on X. I will literally promote your own platform. Sorry, I would pronounce it like he'll pronounce it. Promote your own platform on this platform. $1 million USD a month. You don't need other advertisers. Simply let me know where to pay, Elon Musk.
Okay. What is your reaction to this? I have a reaction.
Well, why? I don't know what benefit it's going to do. But also he's not going to do it.
Exactly. And I think that's the benefit to him. There's some things that I love that he says that are motivational and I think that are great for, entrepreneurship. But stuff like this is just pure marketing. Obviously, he's not going to do that. I honestly don't even think he has $12 million a year to spend on advertising. Like, it's easy enough to go finance a Bugatti or whatever. They give out car loans like candy, especially in the luxury market. Quite frankly, a lot of car loans are made with the belief that you will default, which is kind of sad.
I found this out. There's a section 24220, some federal thing they're passing that's going to install mandatory kill switches on all brand new cars so they could turn it off if you're not making your payment.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, it makes somewhat sense, but it also just feels like what if there's like a glitch in the payment, or they're ripping you off? Like, what it does is it kind of takes away the legal process. It kind of be like saying, like, a tenant, hey, like, there's mold in this house. I need to pay to have this fixed. I'm going to not pay rent because I need to pay just to be able to keep this mold out of here or whatever. And so the tenant withholds rent because of a health and safety issue. And then the landlord just comes in and moves them out of the property and says, okay, we'll deal with it later.
Like you always say, possessions is 9/10, so you've just screwed the consumer.
You ruin the tenant. You ruin the car consumer in this case. So I don't know how I feel about that. That seems a little weird. It's almost like putting the power of the judge and the jury in somebody with a button. And then what if that gets hacked? I don't know. I don't know how I like that. I mean, you could easily do that with the Teslas. I brought my Tesla to a dealership, and when they went to go to it, I'm like, oh yeah, just I had to go fly out, so I left where we dropped it off, and then we didn't leave a key, and I'm like, oh, I'll just remote unlock it. But because we were just taking off, we didn't have Wi-Fi. I didn't have Wi-Fi for like 20-30 minutes or whatever. Turns out they were able to just like remotely unlock the car themselves.
How?
Maybe they weren't supposed to do that. I mean, I didn't mind because it's like I had it there, but like the technology exists, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So they have. I mean, there's just computers. They have all the passwords to. I mean, it's like Liberty Safe. We got your override code. But I don't know how I feel about the cars being able to just turn off if you're not making your payment. I get it. Like, you should make your payment. But sometimes there are legitimate reasons, or like there are hardships that people go through. And then there are laws that say, look, if you're going through a hardship, you can appeal for a modification with your car lender or whatever. But if your car gets shut off, your odds of actually turning around and making payments again go to zero.
Yeah. How do you get to work?
How are you going to wear to work? Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. They're absolutely crazy. So anyway, on this, the Tate thing, I don't think he has the money. I think he does a great job of showing money. I mean, it's like, he's got his compound, but I think you probably pay as much for that compound as you'd pay for like a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in California. I don't know. Forgive me. And I'm not trying to sound like anti-Tate. I know that's what it sounds like, but I think it's bullcrap marketing. And but people go for it. Like, oh, it's so cool. He's fighting the good fight. He's here to support Twitter. Even Elon knows that's BS. I guarantee you Elon won't even reach out because he knows he would end up throwing Tate under the bus. And a lot of Tate supporters like Tesla So, in my opinion, see if you have an opinion on that. And so, if Elon's like, all right, let's do it, and then Tate backtracks, then he'll look like a fool, which will then make Elon look like a fool by proxy almost.
Yeah, I think Tesla and Tate, both of them are. It's young men crowd.
Yes,
right?
yeah, exactly.
So you're targeting a lot of.
So
the
don't
same
even call it exactly. It's like, okay, all right, whatever you say, Tate. Yeah.
So Piers Morgan interview just dropped with Andrew Tate.
Oh, okay.
And in that interview, I have a couple clips for you to react to. Part 1 is out. It's an hour 15 minutes. There's no part 2 yet. But in part of it, he's asking him like, so you had everything seized, right? He's like, yes, 15 cars, millions of dollars, 6 of my properties, all these were seized. And so Piers Morgan goes, well, then how do you survive? How do you pay your bills? And he goes, I do my best. He's like, okay, but like, do you have like any wealthy benefactors? Like, no, I just do my best. It's like, okay, but you don't have income, right? That's correct. Well, how do you make these payments? Man, I just do my best. And he just kept saying, I do my best, whatever that means.
I would love to see that. This is in this interview?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so you have some clips to react to. So let's take a look at that. You know, Piers is really interesting because Piers is, and a lot of people love him. A lot of people hate this guy's guts. I remember when he was on Celebrity Apprentice, he's just vicious. And it makes for great TV. This guy makes for great TV. Like, love him or hate him, it's almost in the direction of like the Trump drama that you can get out of him. So it's really entertaining.
The Simon Cowell of politics.
Ooh, that's right. Oh, I like that. Oh my gosh. Wow. The days of a singing contest. Do we even see those anymore? We have America's Got Talent. Is that still going?
I'm positive they all are. I think after American Idol kind of disappeared, then the rest got less popular somehow.
Yeah, I think so. It kind of all went by the wayside. That's crazy. That was like my childhood, just all the different seasons. Randy, Pamela. Anyway, all right.
Paula Abdul.
Was it Paula?
Paula Abdul,
yeah. That's it. Yeah. All right. So, boy, it's been 15 years. All right, let's go jump on over to this. So I'm going to go pull this up. So camera number 5, technician, action. Boom.
Hey.
All right. And I think the audio is on, hopefully. Otherwise, I'll have to get up.
All right. First one's going to be about a minute at the beginning of the interview here.
All right. Let's see.
Andrew, it's been, nearly a year since we last sat down together. Very different time. It was in my London studio. And 8 days after that, you got arrested. What's the year been like for you?
It's certainly been an interesting one. I've been constrained this entire year. I spent 93 days in a Romanian dungeon, 5 months locked in my house, and now I'm restrained within the country of Romania. So it's certainly been a turbulent time.
No kidding.
The moment you got arrested, it was all pretty dramatic. The video came out, the world saw it, a lot of people smashing into your home. Did you have any inkling, warning that something like this may happen?
I knew it. I kept saying before I was arrested on every single podcast I did, I said, you get 3 lives in the world. The first life, they're going to cancel you. They're going to slander you. They're going to delete your access to social media so you can't defend yourself. The second life, they're going to try and put you in jail for no reason. And if you continue to speak against the power, they're going to assassinate you. I knew I was on my second life. I kept saying it. I knew it was coming. I didn't know the bullshit reason they'd use, but I found out once I was in a cell.
So that's the intro.
That's just the intro.
That's the first 1 minute.
Okay. So what here? Let me switch back cameras over here so we could see us here. So so this gets started with the sort of so far the classic Tate line, which is everyone's coming for me.
Yes.
Hasn't he been canceled? You told me this. He got canceled by Gmail.
Yes. Oh yeah. He can't have a Gmail account. He can't use Uber.
Jeez.
Pretty much everything. Apple. He can't have an Apple account.
No Apple, no Gmail. So no. I mean, what do you use? Like a Chinese phone?
Huawei.
Like what? Yeah. Huawei. Yeah.
Or BlackBerry. Is that still a thing?
Does have the Chinese banned me? BlackBerry. I mean, I know that we were meme stock there for a while.
I guess maybe they still make phones. I don't know.
Oh, they make a stock now. Oh! Yeah. So okay. Wow. All right. Okay. What else we got? Are we gonna keep going?
We'll keep going. I got a couple more clips for you.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah. Let's see him. And then what I figured out is I could use this. See, we're making do without someone to help us manage camera. So look at this.
Oh my gosh,
we are being resourceful today. Hey, that is a perfect opportunity to shout out StreamYard. StreamYard. Paid promotion. All right. Anyway, cool. Let's keep going. Let's see if it works.
Mr. Confident for anyone.
Live screen.
For you, always been Mr. Confident. You said, interestingly, that you wouldn't categorize what you were feeling as depression because you don't believe in the concept.
Fixed echo, my bad.
I've argued about that before. But it sounds to me, from what I've
Talk about
seen
depression.
you say when you talked about this, that was pretty close to depression, what you were feeling.
Life's grim. And if you want to be a superhero, you have to understand in every single superhero movie, he is losing for 80% of the movie. He's going to suffer for the majority of the movie before he
Can you
wins.
pause for a sec? This is so interesting. Look at the lighting they gave him. They gave him basically only a key light, which lights up one side of his face, and then this over the head light to outline his body, basically, next to a black background. It's definitely not bright in there, and he's wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Like, the whole setup is, I will go on your show, but I must look like a top G.
Do you think it's his decision, or do you think it was you're on the show, but let's frame you to look like an evil villain?
Probably both. Probably both. But I think he eats this up.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he wants this.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wouldn't do, if he didn't agree with that look, he wouldn't do it. I guarantee you he's going to the camera like, what do I look like? Play it back. I want it to be different. And that's fine. Like, you can have your input, and that is okay. But definitely interesting. And he's not wrong. Again, some of the stuff he says is not wrong. Like, the hero spends 80% of the time losing. That's a great line. I actually think that's a great line. It certainly, put some realism in this idea of like the Instagram world where everybody's always winning.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's see it.
All right.
He's losing for 80% of the movie. He's going to suffer for the majority of the movie before he wins at the end. I've always wanted an exceptional life, Piers, and I'm not a coward. And I knew that by telling the truth about certain issues, I was going to pay the price for it. So I won't say that I deserve to be in jail, but I certainly put myself in there by telling the truth to the populace and telling the truth and living.
But when you're on your own in that cell, what were you thinking? It's a long time to self-reflect, right?
It certainly is. And I think my number one concern when I was in jail, despite the fact that my situation was dire, were my concerns as a man and all the people I have to take care of, and my children and my family and the people I pay for and all the people who work for me. And truthfully, I wasn't worried about myself. I was worried about everybody else. And I think that's the true masculine frame.
Did you get emotional? Did you shed tears in your cell?
I'm an emotional man. I think men are hyper emotional. We just have to control it. I was extremely busy inside of my jail cell. I had lots of push-ups to do. I was very concerned about the people on the outside. I was trying my best to get out. It's difficult for me to answer the question because it was an interesting frame of mind. I knew that God was watching and I had to perform. It's very difficult for me to go through life saying, I'm the top G, I'm this, I'm that, and speak about mental resilience and mental toughness. And then the second I'm thrown inside of a solitary confinement cell, cower out. I'm not that person. There's some other people who talk about mental toughness and want to give advice. And when bad things happen to them, they end up addicted to prescription drugs. I'm not a coward and I'm not a liar.
No, but it would be perfectly natural to be emotional in that scenario. And there's no shame in admitting that.
I was emotional. I missed people. I missed them. And I knew they missed me. So I felt a strong sense of missing.
But you cried.
There were tears that ran down my face. But I didn't cry.
Dude, this
Listen to
guy's
the
a
whole
book,
thing.
man.
Listen to this
He
whole
is a
thing.
book. Good.
There were tears that ran down my face, but I did not cry.
That line, that killed me.
Dude, he is, I mean, you have to give it to him. What a great freaking marketer. And Piers is getting, I mean, this is the beginning of the interview. Piers is just getting started.
Oh, yeah.
Piers is just, and I don't know, I haven't seen the rest of it, but I knowing Piers, he's just getting started with what he has against Tate. And he's starting out soft here, loosening him up a little bit, trying to catch him off guard a little bit. He's asked like 3 times, hey, so did you get emotional? You know, were there tears? Did you cry? Were you a little baby? That's right. Like, I imagine like Grant Cardone saying, were you a little bitch?
Yeah. There were tears, but I didn't cry. That was like, was it Clinton? Where it's like, I smoked it, but I never inhaled it, or whatever his line was. Yeah.
That's awesome. That was a great reference. Oh,
I got one more clip.
Let's
for
do
you
it.
here.
Yeah. Tell me when you have it ready, and I'll jump over.
No, you know what? That was it. It was a back-to-back, the beginning of that, and then
perfect.
Yeah. So this goes on. This is
I'm excited. We'll have to come back to other clips of this because I have a feeling this is going to get pretty juicy. But this is an example here of just it's a masterclass in marketing. Here is how we can, no matter what a situation we're in, market it in the best way. And you have to give him credit. He knows exactly he is so in tune with his audience. He knows people will be like, that's all right, man. You know, I saw tears come down my face sometimes too when I'm lifting 240 or whatever. You know?
But I don't cry. Yeah.
Exactly.
There was somebody's asking if he has kids. They asked that in the interview. They're like, "Do you have kids?" He goes, "Yes." He goes, "And so you have a partner? Are you married?" He says, "No." Is your partner the mother of all of your kids? He goes, "That's confidential."
Oh, weird.
He refused to answer. He refused to answer if he had one mom for all of his kids, and he refused to answer how many kids. He would only say that he had multiple.
I did think that was interesting because I when I heard him say that, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that he had kids, because we know his brother does. We see him with the little girl regularly, but that is interesting. So then it does make you wonder, what has really gone on over there. But then again, hey, so far it seems like no actual charges that have been pressed against him. So I mean, obviously, if there was some overwhelming evidence of a crime, I think something would have happened. You said, did he get all his cars back and all his stuff back?
I think today that's to be determined.
Oh, if he gets his stuff back.
Yeah, and it's an all or nothing. Either he gets everything back or he gets nothing back.
Well, like, why, if you didn't commit a crime, why would they be able to keep all your stuff?
Well, if you ask him, it's because the Matrix.
Oh, right. Exactly.
He references that a lot. He actually deflects quite a few questions by going down the Matrix rabbit hole.
In this interview.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out. It doesn't look like there's an update yet on his collection of his cars or his property. But again, if you're innocent, you should have your stuff back. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Okay. All right. Enough Tate. What do we got next to talk about?
Well, while we're sticking with teas, you want to talk a little Trump?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we know this is loosely related to the Argentinian president that got elected.
Oh,
which, by the way, what are your thoughts on that guy?
Wow, I'll tell you, he is the definition of a populist. This is the guy where, like, when everything's crap, you want him going in there and just tearing everything up. He's the kind of guy you want to go, like, negotiate a real estate deal for you, because with those big sideburns, he's just gonna walk into that property with that seller and be like, listen, interest rates are 8%. You want to sell it to someone else, or you want to close it, sell it to, like, he's the guy you want fighting for you. I don't know how realistic that the populist agenda will be. I'm very excited for the Argentinians because they clearly need change. When you have 143% inflation, 40% of the country's in poverty, this is a 46 million population country. That means you have somewhere around 16 to 20 million people in poverty. That's terrible. That's a lot of people in poverty. Per capita income over there is like it's actually real household income, which is even worse. Household income is like $4.7 thousand, which is like I think ours is like somewhere around 77,000 for household income, which puts them at somewhere like 1/17 of our household incomes. So it's absolutely insane what's happening there. It doesn't surprise me at all that this person, Javier Milei, got elected, because you know who he's running against? The Minister of the Economy. The economy's in the toilet, bro. Do you? It's such a simple. It's like the easiest election ever. Do you want more crap economy, or do you rather gamble on anything else?
It's that, yeah. It's do you want the crap situation you've been in, or do you just want to roll the dice and see what happens?
I'm rolling, baby. It's like he won by like a 12-point landslide, and it's really interesting because before the votes started getting counting, he started alleging voter fraud and like counter fraud. As soon as he won, that was never brought up again a single time.
Is he the only like libertarian world leader right now?
Oh, that's a really good question. Wow. There's Peter Schiff. Oh wait. Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, that's a good question, because usually you have your conservatives or your extremely conservatives, or you have your liberals or your extreme liberals. So you have like your San Francisco politicians, and then you have your ADFs in Germany, super anti-immigration, more right-wing, more conservative. Israel has like 2 or 3 highly conservative parties, multi-plural government over there as well. The U.S. is really unique in that we only have 2 parties. But anyway, I don't know the answer to that. And that is a really interesting question. What is also very interesting is what's going to happen. Like, is he going to run because if you get rid of the Argentinian peso, which you kind of have to, what about all the debt that you took on from the IMF? This is like, I think, somewhere between 40 to 60 billion dollars. You basically, if you go to the US dollar, you can't print money. So you have to balance your books. Well, you can't balance your books when you owe 40 to 60 billion dollars to the International Monetary Fund. I think you have to go BK on those. Basically, sorry, IMF. F you. You're part of the system.
Yeah.
Bye. I'll pay you in crypto.
He's pro dollar and also pro Bitcoin.
He's pro both of them. Yeah, he's super. I think you need the dollar today because it's practical.
Sure.
But long term, I could see him pulling like an El Salvador and like, let's go Bitcoin. It makes sense. And honestly, it's not a bad tool for developing countries because nobody's going to trust your money printer. Like if you're Argentina, who's going to trust the Argentinian Javier Powell?
Not Argentinians for sure.
No, yeah. Well, it's the same thing as like the Zimbabwean Powell. Who's going to trust that? Nobody, of course not. Now, I'm not saying the Fed's not a scam. You know, like we print money and we can get away with that because we're the best currency. That is kind of rigged. We design inflation. Otherwise, a capitalist economy should have pure deflation. We should constantly see prices going down in a capitalistic economy because in boom and bust cycles, people lose everything. And so prices go down because people can't buy anymore. But that leads to depression and joblessness, and it's bad. But that also then means people have to save, so they're not incentivized to spend. So a true capitalist economy is pure deflation. Prices just go down. So everything, goods and services just keep going down. And the value that you get keeps going up. But we don't do that because that doesn't incentivize borrowing, which slows down your economy and hurts in boom and bust cycles. So, but they are in a bust cycle. So it'll be really interesting to see how they come out of it by either pegging to the dollar or just adopting the dollar. What is this? Did Donald Trump a truth about this?
He truthed about it. Show the people.
Okay, let's show the Donald Trump truth. Here we go.
MAGA, but different MAGA.
Okay,
Make Argentina great again.
Yeah, there it is. Make Argentina great again. Yeah, it's really interesting, the photo of him with the "Don't Tread on Me." He's a great marketer, Javier. He's really figured out how to market. He goes to, I think I saw a video of him on the street with a chainsaw, and it wasn't even off. I'm like, this has to be against like some OSHA rules or whatever. There are no gloves or helmets. They're literally like, it's almost like a zombie apocalypse where there are like 30 zombies around you cheering, but trying to like get to you. And you're just with a chainsaw. It's fully live on gas powered chainsaw. And I'm like, it's Argentina.
He looks a little unhinged in those photos. It's hilarious though.
It's great. Actually, yeah, if you could, let's see if we can find, maybe just search him really quick. Is Argentina, Argentinian, you know, or Javier with the chainsaw. Yeah, it's hilarious because he is, I think when the economy gets so bad, you know, people are down to just do anything but vote for the same. Okay, I'll put it back on screen here. Let's go.
Let me open the image. There we go.
Oh, yeah, look at that. You know, that's the image right there. And look, people aren't even scared. Like, he looks like he's like, this is his life's mission. And the person next to him is like, oh, this will make a good photo op. Yeah, but it's great. I mean, I don't think you could argue that there's anybody more passionate than this guy to fight for Argentina. So, I mean, good for them. I know a lot of people are very fearful because everybody's sort of like, oh my gosh, like, this isn't going to go well. It's going to end up worse. Yeah, it's either going to end up worse or it's going to end up better. We will find out.
Or way worse. There's three options.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, then it'll be a Netflix documentary. Oh, no.
It'll be canceled after the first season if it's a show in Netflix fashion. You know what the chainsaw was invented for?
Well, I mean,
nothing to do with lumber.
I was literally going to say, like, lumberjack.
Nothing to do with lumber.
What the hell?
Yeah, Google it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna leave it on the teaser.
I'll leave it on the teaser.
Okay, all right.
Some other Trump news.
Okay.
This is an excerpt from the Joe Rogan Experience here.
Oh, here we go. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put it up. I gotta figure this out. I press this button and then I press this button. Look at that. All right. Is Christian trembling right now?
Christian, are you in chat? Let us know. All right. Okay. So Joe Rogan Experience. This is Trump. This was not this last weekend, but the weekend before he went to the UFC fight. And so he walked on stage with Dana White, Tucker Carlson, a couple others. And I've got that excerpt.
When
Joe Rogan
he walked out of Madison Square Garden, it was fucking bananas.
Really?
It
Went
was,
crazy.
the whole place was cheering. He walks out to Kid Rock's American Badass with Kid Rock and Tucker Carlson walking in like the right-wing Avengers.
Wow.
And the place went nuts. I'm telling you, the fucking cheers of the crowd were nuts. I mean, it was overwhelmingly in support of him, and it lasted a long time. I mean, it was a roll. I mean, you had to hear what the crowd sounded like before he walked in, and then he did. I mean, it was just overwhelming cheers for like over a minute. I mean, just imagine a minute of people screaming at the top of their lungs. Yeah.
You know, this is very, 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 very similar to Javier. 100% similar. Because what it is there's such a frustration with government today and economics today and society today and inflation today. Americans feel frustrated that everything is more expensive, and at the same time, politicians are worried about gender-neutral bathrooms, right? And so it feels so disconnected with the average American. And people like Trump and Javier Milei come to power when there is a disillusionment with the existing politicians. Javier's famous lines, these get circulated on social media all the time, are basically that the politicians are here for us. Without us, they die like rats, and they're the scam. Is really, really, I mean, screaming the absolute distaste of politicians.
Wow.
And honestly, he's probably not wrong, especially in a country where, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think the institutions that exist in Argentina are no way as strong as they are in America, and they're not even that strong in America. You know, I mean, I think they're the best in the world. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love what America stands for and democracy, what we stand for here, free speech and you know, the broad freedoms that we have here. But there's room for improvement.
Sure. He's not wrong about politics. I mean, think about the word politics. What does poly mean, right? More like many. And then ticks are blood-sucking creatures.
Oh, yep. There you go.
It was funny that Joe Rogan called them the right-wing Avengers in this. I don't know if you caught that.
I didn't.
Yeah, at the beginning, they're like the right-wing Avengers storming in. I learned a couple things. I learned that Dana White and Joe Rogan are two different people. And I learned what Tucker Carlson's face would look like if he had supporters. Like, he walked in, he was just like, whoa, they're cheering for us. They're not booing. It's crazy.
Oh, that reminds me. I heard that Elon went into like a depressive episode after he got booed at some event I think it was in San Francisco. It was after the Twitter acquisition. He went out, and I don't think he's ever had boos before, but I felt so bad for him because that sounds like that hit him pretty hard. And that he, you know, people were thinking about sending cops to his office or whatever to do a welfare checkup on him because they thought, you know, he needed substantial help. It's really sad. But yeah, I mean, Trump in that clip we just saw is like literally the opposite of that.
Yeah.
It's like anybody who's booing would probably just get punched in the face by somebody next to them. Like, there's so much energy in that room.
Testosterone, yeah. It's a UFC
for
fight,
sure.
yeah.
I think of, I was at a French soccer game. It was France versus Germany. And I had my ID with me, which was my German passport. And I'm in France around all the French, and like one person climbs up on a trash can with a German flag. They grab that person off, and like one person's like ripping the flag and tearing it, and other people are pushing them out of the crowd. It's just violence. And I'm like, I'm just gonna keep this passport in here. That's kind of what I think is if, you know, Trump walks in, it's like, you better not say anything, or you're gonna get punched in the face.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Dude, that's how to start a riot in Europe is soccer.
Yeah,
they're crazy.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, but it's really amazing. Yeah, soccer's fun in Europe. Yeah, that's the place to go if you want to watch soccer.
Agreed. Or Brazil.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Brazil. Go for the soccer state because you got shot. It's okay. Everyone's an undercover cop there, according to the internet. Every video I see, so you'll be fine.
Why is that? Every time, like, I get fed these all the time, and it's like, you know, mugging in Brazil, and then you see it, and the person pulls out a gun, and shoots them, and then I read the first comments like, "Oh, that was actually an undercover cop." Every freaking video,
yeah.
Like even like women on the street, like they're about to get mugged or whatever, and they pull out a gun and shoot them. Oh, she was an undercover cop. That's just everybody's a cop. Everybody's on the police payroll there.
Well, since you mentioned Elon Musk, I got some business news in general, Tesla and Cruise, but I guess let's start with Tesla.
So Mr. Rye, by the way, says, should Kevin Paffrath pod be live and not a premiere? Let me tell you right now, this is live, damn it.
This is a premiere, and we knew you were going to ask that question, so we pre-record. Yeah, no, this is live. This is live. We don't do premieres anymore.
Yeah, we did that like once or twice, but people didn't like it.
Yeah,
I think they felt misled, which was not the intention. YouTube was suggesting like, oh, do a premiere. You know, they put like the little flags and bells and whistles up or whatever. I think they think because they trick people into more engagement, which is probably true in the short term, but then you piss people off. So yeah, you gotta be careful. Where's McKay? McKay's working.
McKay.
Oh. Anyway,
Cybertruck.
So where were we?
Cybertruck's getting advertised at a San Diego mall. Can you believe that?
Oh, they're bringing them into the I'll put this up on screen here. So they're bringing them into the stores now. I think I saw they have like oh yeah, look at that. Oh, though they're advertising like literally there's a banner you're saying.
Yeah, this is at a UTC, which is a Westfield Mall in San Diego.
Oh wow.
Designed to be the world's toughest truck. Ultra hard stainless steel exoskeleton, shatter resistant glass. There should be an asterisk next to that one. Ultra tough SMC bed, up to 2,500 pound payload, adaptive air suspension with on-road and off-road drive modes, and 11,000 pounds of towing power.
You know, here, see if you can find this on Twitter really quick. Just type in Cybertruck space and then brick. Because there's literally I don't know like if this is fake or what. But it is the funniest thing. Yeah, there it is. Okay, here, let me put it up.
It did get community noted.
Oh, okay. Well, let's watch it, and then we'll read the community notes. So just pull up the video first. Yeah. Because I was suspecting it might be fake, but it's so entertaining. We just have to watch it without the community note for a second.
I haven't seen this.
There we go. All right, yeah, give that a play there. Brick to face.
You know what? I actually think I've seen this video before with a different vehicle.
Oh.
So I think they overlaid the Cybertruck over it.
Well, you're probably right.
The brick was not repelled by the glass Cybertruck. The video has been digitally altered to replace the original car with the Cybertruck.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I live on Reddit, man. I've seen all of this.
Haven't seen that version yet.
Yeah.
It was a Pinto and then it exploded.
Yeah.
It was a bus. Yeah, whatever.
I forgot what car it was, but it was shocking to see that it got repelled. But people are debating. So the specs that were on this ad here, 11,000 pounds of towing power. They did advertise it originally as 15,000 pounds. So I'm wondering if this is the dual motor or if the specs are not as good as they were planning.
Yeah, but then in the ads, don't you usually advertise like the top? So if you like have 2-3 tiers, I feel like they usually do like up to 15,000, right? I wouldn't be surprised if because they had to make the car smaller because they did shrink the size from the original dimensions. I wonder if somehow losing a few inches took like 30% of the fun away.
Took you a second. Yeah, that's very possible. Although in theory, then the range should still be really good, if anything better than projected, right?
True. Yeah, exactly.
It should last longer. Have better stamina. All right.
Wait, it looks like Linda also just posted, the CEO of X. If you know me, you know I'm committed to truth and fairness. Here's the truth. Not a single authentic user on X saw IBM, Comcast, or Oracle ads next to the content in Media Matters article. Only 2 users saw an Apple ad next to the content, at least one of them, which was Media Matters. Data wins over manipulation or allegations. Well, this is interesting because what she's trying to say here is, and let me get off that Cybertruck here really quick. What she's trying to say is, hey, well, let's be real. Nobody like saw any kind of ads next to the this is obviously the big debate. Was it anti-Semitic? Was it not? Did Elon mean it in a different way? Was it a hit on the ADL versus like no? But I don't know that anybody actually thinks Elon's anti-Semitic. I don't think that. I think his comment was definitely in poor taste, and he clarified it later. That's why he came back to clarify, because I think he felt that as well. But it's really interesting because she's suggesting, hey, come on, IBM and Comcast and Oracle, they didn't even have ads next to that. I don't know that matters so much. I think it matters more broadly that they pulled out of advertising everywhere on X. And the bottom line is, for users, is that when advertisers leave the platform, it means you potentially have to pay more for the product. It means X subscriptions have to go up for it to survive. It means Elon might have to sell more Tesla stock. So the reality is, it's probably good for Twitter to have some external pressure to limit the stuff Elon says that's going to piss people off. And that's not to say that anybody should want to see Elon's speech censored. Like, that's what we love about Elon, is that he speaks his mind. But if speaking his mind turns into now costing everybody, because now Twitter's failing or not going to survive, that's a problem, potentially. Of course, there are plenty of people who say, oh, well, Twitter will be fine. There are plenty of other advertisers. That I believe. I think right now they're on a good trajectory. It is a bummer, though, because I have seen a lot of Disney and Apple ads. And I don't know if that's because I'm an Apple user and because my kids are always like looking for like Disney and Legos and stuff like that. Although Jack told me today he doesn't really like Disney that much anymore. He likes Star Wars, which I'm like, bro.
I've got bad news for you, kid.
Bad news for you. So, anyway, I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, it's not that like you should limit your free speech because of what people are going to say. It's that when your pocket is going to feel it, you should maybe reconsider. And especially if it's something like when it impacts Tesla shareholders, it's like, well, that's now shareholders. You can get in a lot of trouble even for stuff that's not in the favor of shareholders.
That's a good point. And yeah, it's interesting because maybe if when you're like really killing it with profitability on X, then you just let loose. Then you're just like, whatever, man. Ooh, an advertiser left. Ow. But when you're like, we're barely going to make it, and then you're shooting yourself in the foot, I don't know if that's worth it. But I will say, it is also, there is a contra ad here in that Elon speaking freely and getting criticized, and then Twitter being like, hey, we're not anti-Semitic. We're just like speaking how we feel. It does actually advertise free speech. It is kind of like, hey, like, we say we're free speech. We are doing as we say we're doing. So don't get mad at us. By the way, care for some free speech? Sign up for Twitter. It's actually somewhat, the drama is somewhat a Twitter ad. I almost X ad. Yeah. I know. I almost wonder if Elon kind of like, let's stir up some drama.
I think so. It's just like, is that more profitable than the opportunity cost of like hurting
losing
people's
Disney
feelings and
or like people not buying Teslas? Maybe. I don't know. There are a lot of people who don't even know about some of the great things that Elon does, whether it's Starlink or SpaceX or FSD. Somebody here says, actually, there are a couple people here who say, I'd rather deal with the consequences of total free speech than not. Totally agree with you. We are 100% pro free speech. And somebody here says, Elon doesn't care if what he says loses money. Correct. But here's the problem. Follow this thesis for a moment, and let me show you where what you just said fails. If you care so little about what people think about you that you start spewing so much nonsense that every advertiser leaves and the platform collapses. Now, the free speech platform collapsed because it couldn't pay the server bills. Now you actually have net less free speech.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, because free speech protects your right to say whatever you want, but it doesn't protect you from the consequences of the stuff that you say.
That's a great point. That's a really great point. So there's a balance there. To some extent, I think Elon's saying what he wants, advertising for free speech. Great. Let's see if we can strengthen the platform. But if you go too extreme, you collapse the platform, you ruin exactly what you're trying to fight for. And that's the concern I have for Tesla too, is if you piss off too many people that should be buying Teslas, which should be everybody should buy a Tesla. Very biased in that because I own Tesla stock. But anyway, it's also a great car. The thing is, I wouldn't invest in it if I didn't think it was great. People are like, oh, you're just saying that because you invest in it. Well, I invest in it because I believe it, right? So it's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, I believe first, and then I invest.
You did your due diligence, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to put my money in this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, do you actually potentially hurt Tesla's mission of sustainable energy if people are like, I was about to sign a contract for Tesla Solar. F that guy. Now I'm not going to do it. I was going to get a Tesla, but you know what? Now I'm going to get a hybrid. Well, what you've actually now done is net slowed the transition to sustainable energy, which is Elon's goal. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Hey, maybe that's just the story of an entrepreneur.
So this Cybertruck, before we move on, the advertising that's happening, there's a Sawyer Merritt tweet where he was comparing the specs of this Cybertruck to that of the Ford. So Cybertruck towing capacity advertised now at 11,000 pounds.
Should I put this up on screen?
Sure.
Okay, here it comes. I can do this. Boom, baby,
Attaboy.
boom.
Cybertruck towing capacity 11,000 pounds. F-150 up to 10,000 pounds. Payload for Cybertruck up to 2,500 pounds. Payload for F-150 up to 2,235.
Do they just
Partially
one-up them?
Partially bulletproof, yes. Partially bulletproof, no.
I love it. It's a perfect one-up. I mean, come on, man. Don't get me wrong. Ford makes a great pickup truck. I don't know about the E version here, the Mach-E or the Mach-E's SUV. This was the Lightning.
The Lightning, that's right.
I don't know about the electric version, but I'll say Ford makes a great truck. But if I don't own a truck, but if I were going to own a truck, would I rather have just another truck? Would I rather the Cybertruck? It just looks so insane. I gotta have it, dude.
Look at this. It's been hitting showrooms. Look at this thing.
Oh, let's go.
The no panel gaps, like these actually look good. These are ready for the public.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's so sexy.
Dude, every time I see one, I want it more.
I know. I was just thinking that. The same thing. I'm like, now I want it.
I want one. I can't justify because I don't need another Tesla. But man, look at that thing. That's crazy. Here, let me fast forward a little to get the view from behind too.
Damn.
That's to roll up and down the tonneau cover. That's the back cover.
And I'm
there.
not seeing those big gaps that in the original candidate.
With the taillights, yeah.
Mhm. So you have a full. That light looks nice.
I love it. And it's got the LED at the bottom too.
What is that? The brake light?
I'm not
No, because
sure.
it's a brake bar. Those are the 3 lights. I don't know what that is.
I don't know, but it looks cool.
I'll take it.
Yeah, man, this thing's cool.
I can't wait. Like this just seeing this now in a showroom kind of just got me excited. It's kind of like one of those things where you're like, I don't need it. I don't need it. Where's the SpongeBob? I need it.
Yeah, the water. Or they go without water.
Yeah, exactly. It's the water is going to be just like the Cybertruck. You can't go without it. Yeah. That's really, really cool. No, I don't think there's a huge gap right there because the original gap they showed, I think that's where the roller goes. Maybe you can back up a little, but
the gap that the black Cybertruck was getting was mostly for this being popped up.
Way bigger, way up. Yeah, can we get the zoom in on that? I think like 10 seconds back. He zooms in really closely on that. A little more. Yeah, that's good. A little more. There. See, that looks aligned on the right side. That's the gap for the hitch to open, for the hatch to open. Yes. But it looks flat, where the other one was offset like a whole centimeter.
Yeah, I was about to say by like at least half an inch. That's right.
Yeah, that's half an inch, centimeter.
Yeah, that's about 2.54 centimeters in an inch, right?
Damn. So, yeah. Okay. Wow. Cybertruck. It's getting close. The cyber delivery event is on the 30th. You know, I asked Ross. I go, Ross, are you going to the cyber event? Like, how are you going to get there? Or are you going? Or what's going on? And he's like, Gavin, I've been to these before. They're going to deliver like 10 trucks, and that's it. That's it. Then they're going to be done. They're going to deliver 10, and then they're going to be done. And I'm not going to fly all the way to Austin to see them deliver 10 trucks.
And it's going to be employees only, most likely.
Yeah. It's like they're moving all these trucks around to the different showrooms, to the employees. I mean, I don't mind that. Like, get the first couple hundred out, get the production smoothed out. That way you hide the like little quirks and stuff like that. It's okay.
It's going to hurt EPS up front quite a bit.
Once they actually
start delivering.
Yeah, that's true. Well, whatever. As long as they don't cancel the Cybertruck like that stupid Jeffries loser.
That was a wild piece. They should cancel the Cybertruck. It's going to be good for the stock. It's like
so stupid. It would crash the stock.
Absolutely.
I'd be like, do I need to sell? Like your hardcore bulls on Tesla would be like, what the hell is happening? It would be a problem.
That was a wild take. Anyway.
Yeah, you got attention.
Yeah, I guess.
It's bad attention.
Like, I'm not going to trust anything they say in the future.
No kidding.
Cruise, they're not going through some.
Who's that?
Oh, yeah. Pretty soon we're all going to forget about them, I think. So
I think so. And it's a boon to Tesla. The more these other self-driving startups fail, the better it is for Tesla.
Even Waymo's doing way better than Cruise.
That's sad because even I think Google was laying people off from Waymo not that long ago.
Oof.
Yeah. I want to look that up. What do you got? I'll look that up in the meantime.
So a couple things for Cruise. Number one, I don't know if we talked about this before. I know we talked about it outside of the pod, but you know how they stopped doing the automated cars? They started doing the supervised only?
For Cruise.
For Cruise.
Yes.
They're canceling that too.
Everything's canceled.
Everything.
What did Chevy pay for them? Like $35 million or something like that?
Too much is what they pay for.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
We'll find
But
out.
in like news as of, I think yesterday, maybe this was today, the CEO of Cruise stepped down. He resigned after 10 years of working there.
Jeez, Lord. Yeah, that's this is a company that here's GM literally trying to compete with Tesla, and they fail on the electric vehicles. They fail on the self-driving. Everyone who tries to compete with Tesla is failing. You have to give Elon credit. As much as, I occasionally have my criticism, which is fair. I don't take out the rubber mat, okay? They're killing it. They're the only Western auto manufacturer that has a profitable pure EV.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not Volkswagen. It's not BMW, Mercedes, Ford, GM. It's none of them. None of them. It's not Rivian. It's not Lucid. It's no one. And then you look at BYD. They're profitable because they're doing hybrids.
Hybrids.
Yeah. Same thing with Toyota. Toyota's a great car. Toyota's a fantastic car. But I think Tesla is the Toyota of the next generation.
That's fair. Yeah. As long as they give it a little bit more time so they can prove the reliability, and that's all Toyota has going for them.
Yes, it's the reliability. People buy Toyotas because of the reliability. It's a relatively affordable price. Tesla will get there. Brett Whitten from ARC, he's brilliant. He had he was on CNBC today. He had a great line. He goes, every time the baton is passed to another innovation, it's usually a different company. So he said, when we went from computers with keyboards to a pointing device, the baton went from IBM to Microsoft. When we went from pointing device to touch, the baton was passed from Microsoft to Apple. And that's his argument. Obviously, Microsoft is the second most valuable company in the world. They've innovated in so many different ways. They're a fantastic company in many directions. I don't like their CEO. I think he's very dodgy and kind of lame. But anyway, I thought I was going to be way more impressed by him, but no, I hate him now.
Yeah,
It's a disgusting performance by him. But anyway, it's this baton transition. I think you're going to see the baton get passed from Toyota as the safest and most reliable mass-produced car ever to Tesla.
They've already got the safety of a Volvo and some. They've got the efficiency of Toyota and some. They're the most efficient EVs. Not every EV is the same, right? As far as electricity consumption.
That's a good point.
Their safety's up there, their efficiency up there, their software has never been matched before. So they're already killing it in that.
Software's so good.
As long as they can prove that reliability, which takes time, there's no reason to choose anything other than a Tesla. And price point. They're killing it on price point too.
100%. I mean, I've been in 100 rental cars this year or more. And every time I get in one, I'm like, it's disappointing. It's not a Tesla.
When we were flying around at the beginning of the year, looking at properties, and I was driving around a lot of those cars, I'm not going to lie, I've left the car running multiple times because I forget.
Yes,
I'm used to just, you step out, it turns itself off, it locks itself.
Yeah.
We're coming back after checking out a house, and it's like, oh, the keys are inside of the car and the engine's just running.
Knock on wood, no car has been stolen yet.
Yeah.
Please don't follow HouseHack
That's
around.
what I was thinking too, yeah. So anyway, that's the news of Cruise. Is the CEO resigned and they've paused everything indefinitely, which I don't know, man. I think they're on their way out.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with you. Somebody here is like, you can't what is this? You can't move your car 5 minutes later, somebody else is there. Oh, sorry. I think we're talking about car theft here. Anyway, all right, what's our next topic here?
All right. Well, we could talk about a little bit of AI in general.
Let's do it.
So you've been more up to speed with what's been happening with OpenAI, because
It's a freaking disaster.
every time I look for an update every few hours, it's like the whole everything has changed. Like the last season doesn't matter anymore.
Like OpenAI has flipped. The news on OpenAI has flipped more often than I've flip-flopped in my entire career.
It's been crazy. You're not
That's a
wrong.
lot.
Yeah. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's. I think where we are now is, it sounds like where we stand now is everybody is trying to get their hands on OpenAI employees. Mark Benioff is tweeting like he's a desperate, AI enthusiast on, for Salesforce, which originally I'm like, I kind of like Salesforce. They've got a lot of free cash flow. It seems like they're a very well-run company. They really care about their employees. But I called them in March and I'm like, I want to try this Einstein out for my website. They're like, we just have that on the website. We don't actually have that. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I lost a lot of respect for them then. And now I'm seeing like desperate Mark Benioff tweets to try to get OpenAI employees. Elon kind of went with like the subtle direction, which I kind of appreciate. He like leaves the comment on, Nadella's the CEO of Microsoft's tweet, like, guess they'll have to use Teams now.
Yeah.
Which everybody memes is like terrible. And then at the same time, you get like XAI posting, we're just gonna leave this here, and it's like apply to XAI. I love that. Like that's like classy, right? Where it's like Mark Benioff is kind of begging,
Please, yeah.
Elon's kind of like, we're just gonna leave this here. I like that. But I think where things are left off now is that they're either going to join Microsoft or they're not.
That's all he would say. Yeah. Which one do you think?
What do I
Up
think?
to OpenAI.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think it's very hard to stick somebody like a Sam Altman into the confines of Microsoft, especially when the CEO was asked directly by Emily on Bloomberg. She did a great job. She
Fantastic. Yeah.
She did way better than CNBC when she's like, so I mean, he's got other things going on. Is he going to be allowed to do that? And CSG,
Yeah, but
we hope he'll dedicate himself full time to us.
yeah, he's not gonna like that. Like he's doesn't strike me as someone who cares about money as much as he cares about being the guy in the history books who does all the right things and advances civilization.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see where all of this goes. I think part of me wonders, is it really like now that we kind of have the roadmap, is it really that hard to train an LML, a language learning model? I don't think it is. I don't know that the Chat GPT, even though they've made it so accessible and so wonderful, and don't get me wrong, I'm not here to discredit like Midjourney and Dolly and some of these great innovations. They're fantastic. They're super useful, great for productivity. But if this is a matter of let's train as much as we can get in terms of text and run it through servers and train neural nets for years on end. I know there's a lot of work that goes into it, but now we know, okay, if we do this, we will get this outcome. And I think that's why Elon, in a matter of like 3 months, has been able to take XAI from 0 to like Chat 3.0 with Grok or whatever the thing is called.
Grok, but it doesn't matter.
Grok, yeah. Grok like rock. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Good one. I appreciate that. I think these we don't need to be that fearful of AI yet. I think there are massive productivity enhancements, but I think the AI that we have now is still pretty damn stupid. It's like trying to appear smart, but then when you actually peel back the layer, it's like it's just mimicking. It's like a little chameleon. Okay, I'm going to act like a human. It is not sentient.
No, it's not sentient. It was weird when those articles were coming out last year. Like Google employee says it's sentient, but it is advancing exponentially quick.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, and the thing is, more money is going into it, which will accelerate that even further.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Don't get me wrong. There'll be a time where it becomes more concerning.
I don't know if you saw this tweet from Ilya. He's on the board at OpenAI.
Pop it up.
Yeah.
Here we go. Cameraman. Boom,
From this morning, I deeply regret my participation in the board's actions. I never intended to harm OpenAI. I love seeing everything we've built together, and I will do everything I can to reunite the company.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's interesting because that's almost a way of saying, hey, like, we're not going to let Sam leave.
That's
we're
what
going
I'm
to get him
thinking.
back.
Yeah.
What do you think the outcome is here?
I think he's going to go back. I completely agree with your take on him not wanting to be in a more corporate environment like Microsoft. I don't blame Microsoft for doing what they're doing. I think they're doing the smart thing. It's just I don't think he's going to bite as long as he has an opportunity to go back.
Yeah, and he's going to get paid so much money to go back. Because the venture capitalists are freaking out. I mean, think about how many companies have invested in this company. And I guarantee you this, Microsoft invested in them with $10 billion January of 2023. OpenAI, GPT, everything goes nuts in March. I guarantee you, every single day, 1,000 emails. Can we please give you money at any valuation? Because those venture capitalists will be able to park, say, $100 million into OpenAI, and then they're just going to turn around and try to sell it to the next loser for $200 million. Now they're like, if we lose all that money, we're going to look like the losers.
Yeah.
So whatever they need to do to convince Sam not to go to Microsoft and go back to OpenAI, I guarantee you is happening right now. The board's got to go. We already know that like 90% of the employees are like, we're leaving unless the board goes. So the board's going to go. It's over. The board will go. After the board goes, can they rebuild? Maybe.
They're still pretty far ahead of, I think, a lot of the competition.
I agree with that.
I don't know if you know this, but Microsoft is not only leading edge on LLMs, but SLMs as well.
What is that?
Large
Language
versus
learning?
small learning model.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think.
I don't know. It's what like
I kind of guessed.
it's a size S, man. Come on, bro.
LLM offers greater flexibility. SLM is standard language model.
Losers. Who would want that? That's like the CEO of Microsoft going on CNBC going, well, we're not only great at the good stuff, we're also great at the basic stuff.
I see it defined as small and standard in different things. So I don't know. L is large
okay.
for sure.
It says Musk. Max here says Musk responded to the Elon tweet. So it would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. He's going to go to Tesla. Elon will give him room for creativity.
Oh.
Do we need that creativity at Tesla? I mean, I think the mission of Tesla is pretty clearly established. There you go.
So this is the original tweet, and I just had to scroll a little bit down. Why did you take such a drastic action?
22 minutes ago.
If OpenAI is doing something potentially dangerous to humanity, the world needs to know. That's kind of a...
I should reply to him and ask him, Elon, why did you take such drastic action against me? That's all right. Yeah, I mean, not wrong. And the problem that I saw about with the new CEO, he's the co-founder of Twitch. This guy's announcement tweet was a little weird because it was only, we're going to investigate and we're going to make sure we have good corporate governance, so we're going to slow down and we're going to publish research reports on what happened. It's like he's coming in like a cop, not like an innovator or a leader. Like, I feel like a leader would go in and say, clearly mistakes were made. We are here to make sure that we go forward with safety, but focus on innovation. Let's bring humanity the best that we can possibly deliver. At the same time, we're going to investigate what happened so we can learn from that to prevent future mistakes, but we're not going to stop our mission. That was not said by the new interim CEO, who's the former Twitch co-founder. I don't really trust that guy, Emmett. You know, some of the tweets he's liking, calling Sam basically, you know, somebody who's trying to orchestrate a coup, and the attitude that he has makes me really sus about this Emmett guy. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe it's a dialogue that needs to be had, but I don't know. I'm a little sussed out. I've been bitching about it on Twitter.
Damn. That's my take. Damn.
On X. It's going to take so long for me to transition to saying X.
Moving on before you get canceled. Amazon joins the AI race now again. So they're building a new product codenamed Olympus. And the aim is to incorporate it into your Alexa speaker so you can have conversations with it and it's going to answer questions for you.
Alexa sucks.
I know. Well, that's why they're working on making it better. They're trying to. Now, I don't know if this is directly related to, well, there's a startup called Anthropic.
Oh, yeah.
Right. They invested $4 billion in that in September. That was like one of the big competitors to OpenAI. So I don't know if that has to do with this or if it's a totally new product. If you remember, Amazon had a different AI thing, Titan.
They've had so many projects on this because nobody's been able to actually like get something functional. I mean, Siri was better in 2008 when it was an app on the App Store than since it's been acquired by Apple in like 20. Well, actually, app on the App Store. App stores came out. No, it was 08. The App Store came out in 08 because the phone came out. Was it 07 or 08? I can't remember now.
I was thinking 06. Let's see.
When? No. It came out in 07. I'm betting on it. It came out in 07. The App Store came out in 08.
07?
Okay. App Store release. It was June 13th. That's my guess. June 13th, 08.
July 10th, 08.
Dang it!
Less than a month away. That's not a bad guess.
All right. But anyway, yeah, like these these voice apps suck. Like GPT voice app is great, but I mean, it's just translating it to text and putting it into GPT and spitting it back out. But all this means is that all these companies that are now trying to compete to sell their smart speakers are going to have to spend a crap load of money on chips, baby. And we're going to sell some more NVIDIA chips. I'm actually excited about that.
Michael Burry disagrees with you, but
oh my gosh, let's talk on that. I want to hit this really quick, and we'll talk about Michael. Mike what? Somebody here says, I wonder if Elon blocked you because of your association with Ross. We ain't going to blame Ross around here. I'm going to blame myself for speaking the truth. I spoke my true opinion, and I got blocked for doing it. And that's okay. I decided to speak the words. I'll take responsibility for it. So where were we with, what was Michael Loser Burry.
Yeah. I had nothing else to add. We talked about it, I think, yesterday or like last pod. But yeah, he's short now the semiconductors ETF, the whole semis industry.
Which is insane to me. Like, this is the worst time to be short semis. Literally, the one thing that guaranteed the economy appears to at least be capable of, whether they will or not, we can't guarantee. But at least the economy appears to be capable of continue to spend on one thing, is chips. That's the Microsoft, Apple, Google, Meta, Amazon, Tesla. Are they all just going to give up because the economy's tough? They're making more money than ever before. At least the other ones outside of Tesla. They're throwing this money on chips. I cannot believe you would short chips in this environment. And as rates start trending down, this is a massive losing bet. It's insane.
He's just a contrarian. He's hoping like he strikes gold again.
And I think that's interesting is there's being bearish and then there's being a contrarian. He is always, I feel like, a contrarian. It's like and that's a problem, because if you're always saying whatever everybody thinks is wrong, I'm going to go do my own thing, I wonder if you just lose more often than you win. It'd be really interesting to see, the total returns of Burry over 20 years, incorporating the housing call, which took 2 years to be right, but he was right about that. So
I'd have to look it up, but my hunch is that he's wrong more times than he's right. But the times that he's right, it's massive.
Probably on some, especially since it's all derivative based.
Yeah.
So you take you could take $20 million and go for, like these crazy
$1.5, $1.6 billion short against NASDAQ and S&P.
Bingo. Anyway, Barry shilling stocks now. You mean Burry? I don't know what he means. Anyway, what percentage is he shorting semiconductors? Yes. Oh my gosh. All right, what else we got?
One last one on AI before we can move on, a little bit of Israel, and that'll be it for the day. ESRB, that's the rating people for video games and stuff. They are to use facial age estimation technology.
For kids playing the games?
Yep.
That's bull crap.
Yep.
No.
Proposal was submitted with the FTC already.
Hell no. You know how many rated R video games I don't play as a 7, 8, 9-year-old? Okay, come on, man.
Well, so to be fair,
and look how I turned out.
This is keep your kids away from those games. It's up to the discretion of the developers to use, and then to the parents to toggle that feature on if they want to.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
And because there's like issue with child privacy, like there's no verification, like ID verification. It's purely to distinguish whether or not they're of age, and it's accurate 99.97%. So,
but those images have to go into a server, unless that AI lives on the actual device, which I guarantee it doesn't. Those images, sure, they'll go with a user ID, but those image or some maybe anonymized ID code or something like that, but they'll end up in a server as, here's the code, here's the image, what do we think this age is? And then what will happen is they'll probably be able to either get user input data to help train these models, because if 10% of people opt in and say, oh yeah, you could use our data, you could use our Face ID, you could use our kid's Face ID or whatever, they'll use that input data to help train the models. Because if you get, let's say there are 10 million people playing Xbox, you get 1 million people who opt in with their kids. Well, now you have 1 million data points of that's their age, that's what the kid looks like. Use that data now to train what the other 9 million kids' ages are. But again, those images are going somewhere at a server. They're sitting on a hard drive somewhere. I mean, that's probably true anyway today, though. You go on a phone, Apple's probably got it all anyway. I mean, it's always listening. Same thing with, OK Google, Hey Siri, what sorry.
It didn't trigger. No.
Triggering, right? But so they're listening to everything. It's really a weird world we're in. Dare I say the surveillance word.
So yeah, in this case, it's possible for them to build the technology without having it stored on the server. It would be if it exists locally, so it would have to be something like
they'd have to run the
Steam
AI locally
or something. Yes, Steam would come with it, and it doesn't ever leave Steam unless you opt in. I guess that's possible.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you could do that if the model was already trained. Then I suppose you could have that execute locally. Yeah, you're right. But I bet you they don't.
It still sketches me out for some reason, man. I don't know. It's the fear of the unknown or too much surveillance. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, some people complaining about Ross in the chat. Man, leave Ross alone. Okay, he speaks his mind. Let him have his opinion. I think having other opinions is very important. I purposely try to surround myself with as many different opinions as possible so that I get to make the decision. So if you're invested in HouseHack, Kevin makes the decisions. It's that simple. So
I like how unapologetic Ross is with his opinions, how passionate he is. I actually really, really like it.
I'd rather know how somebody feels. And I try my best to be very transparent too. Sometimes that gets me in trouble because people are like, Kevin, how could you say that? I'm like, sorry.
Or sometimes you get blocked on X.
Oh, yeah.
Israel.
All right.
Let's end it on this one.
So,
well, first of all, I've got updated maps here. This is accurate to as of yesterday. No, actually, as of a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah, I should tab over. I got to do the job of the cameraman. Oh, no, Christian. It's okay.
Boom.
We have an iPad that is Christian today. And then I don't mean the religion either, since we're talking about it.
So, luckily, the Crusades backed off, and there hasn't been another Crusade in the area because there was a player 3 in this game for a long time in history.
It's true.
So, a couple
was it like the Knights Templar and stuff like that?
Yes, that's the Crusade. Yep.
Wow.
There's advancements being made in the south now. So like we've been seeing all this advancement happening over here on the north side, but now we actually have little pockets here in the south where they're pushing in as well. I don't know why. I don't know what their objective is, but IDF has been infiltrating South Gaza as well.
Because they've sandwiched Gaza City up and that's somewhere over here. It should be.
Let me
somewhere.
actually
There it
take
is.
this
Gaza.
map instead right here.
Okay.
This is the North Specific map.
Okay, yeah.
They're
So
sandwiching.
Gaza City and that is essentially under control.
Gaza
There's
City
hospitals. Here. Yeah, okay.
Jabalia here. And they've been making more advancements on the north as well. So they took this Al-Shati camp entirely, and they're pushing more and more into the core of Gaza City here.
You know, there was talk about a ceasefire briefly this weekend, about like a 5-day ceasefire. I guess that never came of anything, huh?
It's still in the works. Israel's refusing to comment on it because it's a tough decision from them, politically speaking.
Well, you're negotiating. It's
yes.
like it's hard to negotiate publicly.
Yes, and then also like you've been having this really, really hard stance. You don't want to like, if you're Netanyahu, you're not trying to like back off on that. Be like, well, okay, maybe I was wrong. Like he's trying to really double down on a lot of what he's been saying.
War is always so tough because so many innocent people are dying. It's always just so terrible. But hopefully the resolution comes soon. I don't think it can come soon enough. What's really interesting is the IDF is trying to be, at least from an outside point of view looking in, it appears like they're trying to be transparent by showing, videos of weapons they're finding in hospitals or whatever. But there's so much counter backlash in the commentary of like, you planted those weapons, or that's fake, or you edited this, or whatever.
Which is possible.
It's all possible. It's not wrong. And I actually kind of enjoy that specifically about what you get on X because, well, do you want both sides or do you only want the IDF side? I kind of want to see the Jade because then I can make up my own mind. For example, like people are like, well, they planted weapons in the MRI room was a big thing with the Shifa hospital. And they're like, how could the Israelis be so dumb to plant weapon bags in the MRI room? Those are metal. It's an MRI room. Well, I look at the Jade, I look at the IDF POV, and then I look at the room and I'm like, that room's been used for storage for a very long time. That hasn't been an active MRI room in a long time. My opinion is that those were probably actually really weapons that were planted by Hamas there. I believe that. That's my opinion. I probably will never know with certainty, though.
Yeah. You know what that actually kind of reminds me of is the whole "did we land on the moon" conspiracy, where one of the arguments I'll hear is
that's not a conspiracy.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's if it's a conspiracy, like every country behind the world is back. Russia's not denying it, India's not denying it. This is a crazy conspiracy. But one of the points that I'll hear is like, you can't even see stars in the background, so it's a fake video. And it's like, if NASA was faking going to the moon, they would have thought to put the stars there.
Like the one thing that would have been there.
Yes. So,
but what if it's a reverse?
Oh, they knew I was going to think that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess that's the logic here too. It's like, if there's someone in charge of Israeli propaganda, they would have thought not to put the weapons in that same room with the MRI machines.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hamas, on the other hand, they're stupid.
The ceasefire negotiations still in the works. They're still talking. They were saying 50 or more hostages are going to be released if it goes through. It would be in exchange for a 5-day ceasefire.
Okay.
We still don't know. There was talks. This was between U.S. and Qatar and this was in Qatar, and Hamas was represented indirectly by Qatari mediators, but it's still in the works. We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping they return hostages and have 5 days to get humanitarian efforts.
That'd be great.
Like that.
Did you see the? Maybe if you could pull up on Twitter. So I don't know if anybody around here ever plays Rust, but there's cargo.
If you don't start.
Yeah, don't start. It's very toxic. Type in cargo and then Houthi, Houthi. No, Rust. Just that.
You go for it. Yeah.
And then I don't know. There it is. There it is. There's a second video right there. Yeah.
I did see this.
I know, right? Look at this. This was like, I'm like, this is so Rust. We're gonna get cargo, boys. Buckle up. Look at how intense this is. I mean, this is sick.
You got a Scrappy coming in.
I mean, first of all, it's sick because it's like it's stealing a civilian cargo ship, so it's wrong. But it's a terrorist group. But now we're gonna get to see a terrorist group take over a ship. It didn't look like they killed anybody as far as I was aware.
Couple of things that I'm noticing off the bat. Number one, no cargo.
No kidding. Doesn't look like there's a lot of cargo on top, at least.
And then I think this was an Israeli-built ship, but these are like they get a.
He almost clipped that.
I know.
Could you go back like 5 seconds? And then they cut the video. I bet he bumped it. Look at that.
Lagging.
Yeah, he had high latency, dude.
Yep.
Oh, dude,
You're
he clipped it.
right.
Yeah.
They storm it. They do have weapons drawn, but nothing gets fired here. They just storm the captain's room. These ships get contracted out. So if I'm not mistaken,
that's a cool shot, though.
Yes, the helicopter leaving.
I'm gonna get canceled for saying the terrorist that had a cool shot here. I hope not, but I mean that was a cool shot. It just reminds me of Rust. Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm pretty sure this is contracted to a Japanese company, so it's not even like Israeli that would be losing anything, or Israel that would be losing.
I like how they failed to pick the lock. Go back for a second.
They didn't have the green card or whatever card you needed on the rest.
Yeah, exactly. Look. They go to pick the lock and then it cuts.
I didn't even notice that. There's a lot of interesting edits in this.
Yeah, basically the failed helicopter landing, can't open the door because you can't afford explosives.
They only did 2 things in this video and they failed both of them.
They failed both of them. Yeah, so far they failed both of them.
Land the helicopter, open the door.
These are probably BB guns. Discount terrorists.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Anyway, and then they just scream, "Oh, God is great," and all the generic kind of stuff that you get. But anyway, so I had to share that because I'm like, man, this is Rust in real life. So anyway, what else we got? Is it beer time? I mean, is it end time?
Yeah. Time to drink. I mean, time to close the pod. Yeah. You got your paperwork over there.
Is that all we got? Oh, yeah.
That's all we got.
Yeah. Oh, that's my cue.
That's you.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. So I'll look if there are any
Do you got the button?
It's probably one of these buttons. I don't know what all these buttons are, but this one says MP1 and another one says MP2. I'm going to guess it's MP2. This is Christian's board, and I'm probably going to screw stuff up, but let's try it.
Find out.
Oh, I ruined it. Yeah, I'm definitely screwing stuff up. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. What if I press that button? Nope, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I'll
Whatever.
just beatbox and you go. I'm not going to beatbox.
Aw. Even though I'm a licensed financial advisor, licensed real estate broker, and becoming a stockbroker, this video is neither personalized financial nor real estate advice for you. It is also not tax, legal, or otherwise personalized advice tailored to you. This video provides generalized perspective, information, and commentary. Any third-party content I showed, like StreamYard that was promoted in this video, shall not be deemed endorsed by me. This video shall not and never be deemed reasonably sufficient information for the purpose of evaluating a security or investment decision. Any links or promoted products or paid affiliations or products or services we may benefit from, like the Black Friday sale at mekevin.com. I personally operate an actively managed ETF and hold long positions in various securities, potentially including those mentioned in this video. However, I have no relationship to any issuer, nor am I presently acting as a market maker. I think we did good. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for being here. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.